Hey everybody, well here's a car I've had some requests to do a video of. This is my 2013 Nissan 370Z. Finally getting around to doing a review and test drive of this car. I've owned this for a year. Those of you who've seen some of my other videos may remember the red PT Cruiser I had. Well, I no longer have that car anymore. This was its replacement. Quite a difference, when you say. This one in particular is finished in the gunmetallic exterior, which is actually one of my favorite colors for this car. I know a lot of people are partial to some of the brighter colors, but honestly I think the car looks great in this. This one is the base coupe. It does not have the sport package. It's not the touring model. It's the base model. But I got an unbeatable deal on it, so I couldn't pass it up. This has 18-inch wheels, which are actually staggered width. They're 18 inches in diameter in the front and rear, but the rear wheels are a little bit wider than the front wheels are. And it's got Yokohama high performance tires on it. And another thing you may notice is it is missing the rear spoiler. It didn't come with it. That little spoiler that's kind of sits on the lip right here that most Zs have. Yeah, this one didn't come with that. However, it does come with a couple of goodies. One being these lights right here. These are turn signal and hazard indicator lights. So the entire thing lights up orange actually when you lock and unlock the car or put your hazards or turn signals on, which is really cool. It's got LED daytime running lamps. Those are always on. These were actually a styling change for 2013. Before that, Nissan actually had, if you look down here and the lower bumper, Nissan had where these black plastic pillars are, I guess you could call them, that kind of look like fangs. Nissan had a pair of painted fangs that came from the bottom of the bumper here, about halfway up. They got rid of those for 2013 and put in those running lamps. Some people have mixed opinions about it. I personally think it makes the car look a little more expensive, a little bit more, I think it suits its personality more. The 350Z had them and I always liked them. It's got bi-xenon headlamps. I always like the styling of these. I think it's very sharp, edgy, and in your face, just like a sports car should be. But it's got a charm to it at the same time. And one thing that always has people going about these is the rear end, which I think is the best looking part of the car. You got these sharper, more angular tail lamps than the 350Z had. Personally, I like these a lot better. And just look at the humps on this thing. Very rounded. It's got a wide stance, short wheelbase. Dual exhaust. That is actually just a reflector. It's not functional. I'm thinking at some point I may put a light in there. I know some people have done that and the car actually looks pretty cool. But the third brake light is right there. Go and pop the hatch for you. There's an electric button right under there. Just press it. There it is. Little more cargo room than the 350Z. 350Z had this bar stretching across here, kind of like a rear stabilizer bar. But they moved it up there, kind of so any cargo you store back here won't fly up into the driver. This car also has smart key access system. Nissan calls it intelligent key. So by locating this button here on the door handle, as long as you have the key fob on you. This is another styling thing I like. Instead of putting the Nissan logo on it, Nissan puts the Z logo on it. They do the same for the GTR. It says GTR on the top. Very cool. Anyway, nice quality key fob. The buttons feel good. You can lock and unlock the car by the buttons. If you hit lock, car actually chirps the horn. And when you unlock it, that's what I was telling you about. But I'll demonstrate the intelligent key. If you hit it once, two beeps indicate locking. Hit it once to unlock the driver's door, and once more to unlock the passenger. And when you open it, the window comes down to clear the door frame. It's got a black cloth interior. The interiors in these things, in my opinion, vastly improved over the 350Z. This is all lined in cloth, all padded, nice place to rest your arm. This is all actually a softer touch up here too. These seats, they're great for holding you in around corners, but they're not the most comfortable. They're pretty firm. I know for 2015, Nissan again refreshed the 370Z and put Recaro seats in these as an option, so I'm hoping those are more comfortable. These, I don't know if you can really see it. It's really hard to see in the daylight, but these also light up, which is awesome. Looks very cool at night. That was also another option this car had, along with aluminum plated door sills. And these Z-badged floor mats, including the one back there, were also an additional cost. It's got nice gauges. There's your fuel and engine temperature, as well as a little display in the middle. Tachometer front and center, and your speedo over here. And up here you got oil temperature, your battery voltometer, as well as your analog digital clock. In the touring models, you can get nicer, like a nicer center stack here. This, instead of being kind of like a sunglasses storage container, actually becomes a screen with a little dial here for navigation, and the upgraded Bose stereo. This one has the bass stereo. Got your climate control down there, and yes, this is a 6-speed manual. The shifter in this car is honestly one of the best shifters I've ever felt. The shifts are short, precise. The only time I've ever missed a gear is when I've just kind of manhandled it too much. If you let it do its thing, it just pops right into gear. It's great. For reverse, you push down, over, and down, just like that. You also have an aluminum kick plate. But anyway, let's go ahead and fire it up and see how it starts, or see how she sounds. To start, you just depress the clutch. It's also got push button ignition. Just hit the button. .7-liter V6 roars to life, and as soon as this truck goes by, I'll let you hear it. This does have the stock exhaust. Does have a really nice sound to it. I'll go and pop the hood real quick. There's the heart of the beast. It's got a strut tower bar, 2 air filters for a twin intake, which is cool. Like I said, it's a 3.7 liter V6, hence 370Z. It does have variable valve timing and lift. I believe it also has direct fuel injection. Puts out 332 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. Great engine. Let's take it for a spin. Put the windows down because Both the front windows are fully automatic. Get this set up on the tripod. Seat belts.
Total curb weight of this vehicle is 3,245 pounds with the manual. And the question is, how does it drive? Excellent. The handling is fantastic. It feels like you can throw it into any corner. I love these Yokohama tires. They have so much grip. And the best part is, even though, you know, this car doesn't have the sport package, which would give you 19-inch wheels, limited slip differential, this actually has an open differential. Dry sump oil lubrication, as well as the bigger brakes. Even though it doesn't have any of that, it's brilliant, honestly. Like, the Barebone Z drives so well. And the ride quality doesn't beat you to death. It doesn't have an adjustable suspension, but it doesn't need one. It's so tight around the corners. Yikes. And it doesn't beat the hell out of you over the road, which is awesome. I love the steering wheel. It's got a fantastic 9-3 position with kind of like a flatter design on the sides. Pretty unconventional, but I like that. And it's a good width. It's not too thick, not too thin. With perforated inserts, it is fully leather wrapped. It just feels really nice. The clutch in these cars does take some getting used to. It engages almost all the way out, so it's not the easiest car to drive smoothly. So rev matching when you're downshifting does take some practice, but you get used to anything. And I'm a big believer in the saying, there's no replacement for displacement. This engine is so nice. It's very rev happy, it revs fast, high. Redline is 7,500 RPM. And the power is right there, it's immediate. Throttle response, perfect. My one gripe with this car is that it doesn't have a limited slip differential. So when you're the only one in the car, that passenger side wheel does start to lose traction sometimes, which gets a little annoying, but it's forgivable. I've never driven a car so willing to tear up back roads. A car that just wants to go fast all the time. The 370Z may not be the fastest car on the road, but let me tell you, if you've got a Porsche, if you've got a BMW or anything like that, watch out, because this Z will keep up with you. And if you own a pickup truck, I don't care what it's got in it, you're not going to beat this car. I live in an area where trucks and SUVs are a very common vehicle to own. And for whatever reason, all these guys who think they're so tough and they own the road and they'll think they're faster than this car. Guess what? No, you're not. This car will smoke you. as I've demonstrated to everyone who lives around here numerous times. Once those trucks hit 90 miles an hour, they're done. This thing will go well over 100 miles an hour. At 100, this car is just getting started. I haven't driven it around a racetrack. Maybe at some point I will, or maybe I'll drive one that I don't own, so that I'll drive it a little harder so I won't be quite as afraid to wreck it. It's so flat around corners, and it just makes me smile. There is one drawback to owning this car that kind of ties into all the pickup trucks and all the guys who own the ricers. If it's got a mismatched paint job, a stupid rear wing on it that sticks up a foot over the trunk lid, and a poorly installed exhaust, it wants to pick a fight with this Z. And all the people who drive the Toyota Priuses and all the hybrid cars sneer at you. People don't like the fact that you own this car. Its styling comes off as probably pretty strong to some people. And because the demographic Nissan mostly aims for with these cars is younger buyers, because it's an affordable car, people look at you like you're just the biggest asshole on the face of the earth. But you know what? They need to just cool it. I'm trying to be nice here. But anyway, this car draws attention, and there's a cop, so I'm gonna have to sit for a minute before I can demonstrate the acceleration of this car. Today's a pretty heavy traffic day, but that's okay. I can at least show you a little, maybe 0 to 60 or so. And that's 75. Broke the rear loose a little bit. So my final verdict of this car, if you're looking for a sports car that you could drive every day and just have fun with, and will be reliable, not too expensive to maintain, it's fast, it handles great, all that good stuff, buy a 370Z. You will not be disappointed. Guarantee it. And I'm an American muscle fan, but let me tell you, I love this car. This is different from a muscle car, yes, but it's awesome. It's a great car, and I just recommend it to anyone. It's made me a Z enthusiast and a Nissan fan for life. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe today. There's a lot more on the way. I will have future videos of the Z. Take care.